Today we're going to be doing another Dior quint. Today it's a new look, which I have on my eyes right now. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we are going to continue with our Dior theme that's been going on for the last 2 months, maybe longer. I picked up a number of the Dior quints, and I've been kind of going through them and doing a dedicated look for each one of them because that was the feedback that I got from all of you that you'd be interested in. Today I'm going to do the new look, which I think is going to be beautiful. New look, okay? That's the lightest shade. It basically doesn't show up on me because I'm translucent. Not the best swatching today, guys, sorry, but those are the 5 shades. So let's start with my BK Beauty 202 brush, and let's go in with the deepest shade. Why not? I am going to be doing a brush video. I've had several people asking, Kelly, I know you'll eventually watch this. Yes, I heard you. I'll do one, but you better do one too. It's not that I don't want to do a brush video. I'm going to put this in crease and transition. It's not that I don't want to do a brush video for all you guys. It's that, you know, I have more than 100 brushes, and like anyone who has tools, because I feel like my brushes are my tools. I use them for different purposes and different products, and you know, I feel like it's so hard to just say, oh well, this is my favorite, you know, eyeshadow brush, or this is my favorite crease brush, or because, you know, some of these things do depend on the product that you're working with. You know, some eyeshadows are super soft, others are a little harder to blend. Sometimes I want to use a synthetic, sometimes I'll use a very soft brush. So, you know, it's just a really difficult thing to do. When people are like, oh, just tell us your favorite brushes, I'm like, yeah, well, unless you want the, you know, the video to be 2 hours long and for me to go into every single brush I own and explain why I use, you know, a particular brush for a particular brand, which I don't think anybody wants, because I think you'll all be very bored. So I'm trying to think of a, you know, like the right way to do it. But anyway, it's a very long way of saying, yes, I'm going to do it. I just need to plan it out a little bit. The BK Beauty brushes that I'm using, the 202 right now, they are really good synthetic brushes. First of all, the brushes are soft and easy to use. They really do very well with pretty much any product, any brand that I've used. They are good for sensitive skin. They are good for sensitive skin. I feel like they are very, very soft. They are not as soft as, say, like a Wayne Goss 03 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. I've mentioned this brush like a million times. This is an incredibly soft brush. And, you know, this is Blue Squirrel. I have a couple of Sonia G, Chikuhodo, Wayne Goss brushes that are like this Blue Squirrel kind of thing. And, you know, that kind of softness, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you can get it from a synthetic. Maybe you can. The BK Beauty, though, is the softest synthetic I've ever found. So if you're looking for a synthetic brush, I highly recommend them. I have a whole bunch of them. I have face brushes, foundation brushes, powder brushes, a bunch of different eyeshadow brushes, and I'll link her site below. I would strongly recommend them. But I am gonna, you know, be honest, I do prefer natural hair brushes. Doesn't mean that I don't think you can do great things with the synthetic brushes, because obviously I have them and I've purchased them and I spend money on them, and I would not do that if I didn't think they worked. I just think most of the time I'm reaching for my natural hair brushes. For me though, part of the reason that I tend to reach for the blue squirrel brushes and the softer brushes is because my skin is very sensitive. I have rosacea. I have more than rosacea, I just have like allergies to everything, and my skin just gets irritated. And you know, if you're that kind of person, like sometimes I can't even use a brush, period. You've seen me use the sponge for my foundation, and that's because any type of brush, just it's irritating. It feels itchy. Doesn't matter what it is. So, you know, this is something to keep in mind for the normal person out there. The BK Beauty brushes, trust me, will be soft enough for you. In fact, I'm gonna use another one right now. This is the 203 brush. I'm gonna sweep the, I'm gonna use this sort of taupey shade over here on the outer corner. It's a really pretty shade. If you can see that, I mean, it's pigmented. It's very much a satin. It's gorgeous, look at that. That's like an all over lid kind of shade. It reminds me of one of the shades in the Pat McGrath Platinum, the 6-pan, I can't remember the name of it, but that's what it reminds me of right now. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the Wayne Goss 03, buff that out a little bit. This is definitely a cool toned palette. I was hoping to have my Natasha Denona video up for you guys, but unfortunately, my package is lost in the ether. Who knows when it will actually come. Let's take this shade here and put it on the rest of the lid. You know, shipping lately has just been, I don't know what's going on with shipping, but anyway, so that will be coming hopefully soon. I bring it up because the color story is similar, I think. I mean, I don't know because I don't own it, but not yet, but I think it's a similar color story. Cool tones, platinums, that type of thing. The kind of shades that I personally love. So, I mean, I think the Natasha Denona is going to be a similar palette. But until I see it, I don't want to say that it's definite. I've seen other people use it, but you know, until you actually have it, it's always safe to play on the safe side and be like, I think it looks the same. Okay, so I'm gonna take this very purpley, I think it's purpley shade. I'm gonna take my Sonia G Mini Booster and go with that purple shade. These do have some fallout, guys. I'm sure you can see it as I'm doing this because these are heavily pigmented, but that's okay. I'll clean it up when we're done. Like that purple is a strong purple. Back in with the 03. I'm gonna take the lightest shade right here. First put it on the eyelid itself. As you saw when I swatched it, it's more of a topper shade, like it's a shiny, very pretty shade, but it doesn't have a ton of pigment. I'm gonna put it in the inner corner, lighten up that area just a little bit. And then I'll put a little bit in the brow bone, going in with my Worker 3 Sonia G brush, and I'm gonna put it up here, but I'm also gonna kind of blend out the edge here because there's a little bit of an edge with that purple. Not a lot, but it's good to make sure that all your edges are smooth, unless you're looking for a more, you know, defined look. Like sometimes I will leave the edge sharp because I'm trying to have a delineation. Like I really want to look like stripe of yellow, stripe of pink, stripe of blue, stripe of, I mean, you want it to be that, but if you want everything to blend together and make sure there's no lines, you just want to make sure you go back in. I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Pencil One, and I think I'm gonna use that purple shade, actually. I'm just gonna use very little of it because as you saw, it's incredibly pigmented, and run it along the lower lash line. As you guys know, those of you who've watched me, I'm not a purple person, but I think that is really pretty. I think because this particular purple, it's almost like a plum, like it's got like a very dark, almost brownish purple. That doesn't really explain it very well, but if you've ever seen the Chanel purple chalk liner, that's what it reminds me of. It's a liner that I've been trying to pick up. Well, not trying to pick up. I've meant to pick it up, but I didn't. In fact, I mentioned in my recent Chanel video that I didn't have any liners that had purple in them, which I don't. But I just picked up the Psyche, the new Chanel. I am gonna pick up the purple chalk, guys. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it when I do my holiday order. There's actually a couple things that I just haven't picked up in a while from Chanel that I'm gonna get. Purple chalk is one of them though. It's just a great shade. So I'm gonna use the Psyche. I'm gonna use it on the upper lash line and maybe do a little bit waterline on the bottom. Okay, I'll bring you in close so you can see a close-up look before I curl and put mascara on. Super close. I always feel weird when the camera's this close. Okay. Let me curl my lashes, put some mascara on, I'll be right back. Okay, final look with just the eyes. We're gonna decide on lips in just a second. I have to say, this is actually one of my favorites of all of the quints. It is definitely cool toned. It's got that purple shade in there, so I wasn't at first like, oh, this is gonna be a favorite. But what it ends up looking like is like a platinum bronze. Platinum bronze is the Pat McGrath 6-color pan that I couldn't remember. It's stunning. Everything goes cool on me anyway, but this is definitely a cool tone palette. It's the middle shade, as I showed you in the swatch, it's a very deep plum purple kind of shade. And the rest are like cool toned grays and taupes. And then this is a topper that has a little bit of that champagne to it so that, it's not altogether a gray palette. But it's just, I love it. I think it's stunning on. I think it's really beautiful. And this is something that I would reach for all of the time. I don't know if I'm becoming more comfortable with cool tone palettes. I don't know if it's just the Dior and how amazing these quints are and the material. I mean the product, I honestly don't know. But I will tell you that the black bow and now this new look are two of my favorites of the 9 that I've picked up. Soft cashmere is another favorite, and that's definitely cool toned as well. So a jungle is warm toned. I love that one. Maybe I just love them all. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I'm just really impressed with the way that they've looked, the way that they've blended, and they feel on the eyes. I think they're beautiful. So I wish I could be like, oh, don't get this one, but no, I can't say that. So for lips, I was trying to decide, what to do. This is kind of a deeper look, a darker look on my eyes, the way that I went with it. And so I want to do a cooler shade. And I think I'm trying to decide between the Yves Saint Laurent, the nude that I picked up in number 9, which is a little bit more pinky, but I think would be a good choice, or the Cocoa Flash by Chanel, the fall 2020. I think the Yves Saint Laurent is gonna be the winner, guys. So let's go with that. To me, this smells like Jolly Rancher watermelon. Don't know if that's just in my brain, but that's what I get every time I use it. I'm like, oh yeah, Jolly Rancher watermelon. Don't know. Don't know, guys. Okay, so let me put on a little bit of powder. I will stick with Dior and go with the Dior Skin Mineral Nude Matte Powder. And my Sonia G Face One brush. And I'm just gonna buff a little bit. I don't use a lot of powder. My skin is naturally dry, and powders, even good powders, I mean, I just don't need a lot of them. My favorite lately has been the Chantecaille Candlelight Powder, which is the one that's in that like little travel tool thing. I'll be honest, I don't love the mechanism of that powder, but the powder itself I really, really love. The blurring powder's gorgeous by them. The Eclat Dew powders, I mean, all the Chantecaille powders are my favorite. Let's put it there. But the Candlelight one I've been enjoying a lot lately. So, final thoughts. I love it. I've loved all the Diors. There hasn't been one that has disappointed me, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I like them all. I really like this quint. I think it's beautiful. It's definitely cool toned. It's got like a platinum taupe purple. I mean, it's just beautiful. I think it's absolutely stunning. They did an amazing job creating it. You could go with like the purple and this like lighter color alone and just get a gorgeous look. You could take this, you know, this, the really dark shade, which is almost, it's like, it's a charcoal, but it's got, I don't know what's in that, but like it's almost like a black, but it's, I mean, it's just beautiful. Stunning on. And I put that on first, which is why this is a much deeper look. You don't have to use that shade. You could, you know, just go in with the lighter shades. But I wanted to see how it performed. I think it looks beautiful. And I think, you know, if you're going for like a dramatic look, I mean, wow, that would definitely do it. So yeah, I think it's almost official. Dior eyeshadows are my new like go-to favorites. I don't want to say it yet because I've only been using them for a short period of time and the formula is new. And so maybe they all go bad tomorrow, or maybe in 3 months, you know, they all fade. I don't know. But I will say, as of right now, if I had to choose between, like if somebody was like, okay, you have to give up all your Tom Ford or all your Dior, I wouldn't give up the Dior. But again, it's too early to tell. I've only been using them for a couple months, and these things, you know, you have to take time and figure out how these things work for you. But just based on what I've done so far with the ones that I've tested, they've all been beautiful. All the color stories are gorgeous. All the formulas are the same. The payoff's incredible. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm loving the new quints. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit like, and I'll see you in another video really soon. Bye-bye.